Katamari, everybody. This morning I wanted to kōrero on a concept called authentic integration, and I heard this word a while ago and it really stuck with me around the learning process and the integration of new ways of being into our current life, because that's really what the evolutionary learning growing process is all about, is when we gain these insights and then we bring awareness to it within ourselves and we start changing our way of being. But the key is actually being able to integrate that into your daily living when you're out there in the world, when you're in your whānau, when you're around other people. That is the key. And that is authentic integration. And so understanding that within anything, there's like a multitude of facets to a lesson. There's so many aspects to it. And if we become comfortable with that idea, then we begin to, I think, allow ourselves a little bit more room and a bit more grace in when perhaps we don't feel like we get it right, or when we slip back into our old patterns, knowing that within that facet that there is to learning, and by releasing judgment of ourselves and choosing compassion and curiosity, we can perhaps unlock that little facet that is there for us, that facet of insight, and then gain what we need in our kete. And as we move forward, perhaps we might go back to that again, but we'll have that extra bit of insight. And so it's like authentically integrating it, and it's like the intricate nature of it, just understanding that there's, we're complex. We're complex and that there are many facets to, say, if you're looking at a specific limiting belief, there are so many ways that manifests in your life. So perhaps it could be interesting if there's one particular limiting belief that you are focusing on right now, to pay a bit of mind for that and then notice the vast amount of ways that it manifests in your life, and then understand that in order to transmute that, it's going to take many different facets. It's going to take many points of action. It's probably going to take a whole lot of repetition. It might take some falling back into the old pattern to gain clearer insight. One way we find out what we want is figuring out what we don't want. Both of these things are on the same spectrum. They're just at other ends. Understanding that is really, really helpful. That's all I have to say this morning. Just opening your mind up to that idea of authentic integration, what that means, and shifting out of frustration and shame and self-judgment and that sort of stuff when that stuff comes back into your life, when you feel like you go backwards. It happens to me a lot. It happens to me a lot. But since I've learnt about self-compassion and how releasing the judgment actually allows the flow of energy, that's been really key to continue the learning process. Because if we start to judge and we feel shame, it's like those energies, they block it. They block the learning process. What we need to do is just be kinder, compassionate, and understand that it's all a part of the integration process and it's all a part of the learning process. So sending lots of love to you out there on your journey. Keep going, you got this, and have a beautiful day. Ka kite.